Day 174.
Day 336. 602 days since he went missing from the barracks.
The story of Richard and Patricia starts with a photo.
What ran through your head when you saw that image for the first time?
For the adoption? Wow, they're beautiful.
But their time together would be cut short.
This is a picture of our son, who has been missing.
July 23rd, 2020. It's the last time Patricia Halliday would hear her son's voice. That's the day he vanished from his post at Fort Bliss.
We had a beautiful, beautiful life. A dream.
Private Richard Halliday dreamed of serving his country and following the footsteps of his father and grandfather, who also served.
He was so excited.
He joined the Army in 2019, and at first, it seemed like the start of a promising career.
I don't want it, Mom. I'm going to do my time and get out.
But Patricia quickly noticed a change when Richard arrived at Fort Bliss.
He went from very happy to the leadership is really bad and I don't want anything to do with the Army.
In January of 2020, 6 months before his disappearance, Richard was arrested on charges of driving drunk.
I don't think he really ran into any trouble. Trouble ran into him.
A few months later, the private would be disciplined for going into Mexico and would receive a General Officer Memorandum of Reprimand.
How damaging is a Gomer to someone's career?
It's a career ended.
Dolores Montanes Berrio served in the Army as Lieutenant Colonel for 29 years. She has no relation to the family, but believes the Army made an example out of Richard.
So this was something out of the ordinary?
In my opinion, yes.
As a result, his mother says the Army would begin processing him out of the service. But before that could happen, Richard went missing. His parents wouldn't learn of his disappearance for another 36 days.
When you started to notice that something was wrong?
Our rule was every 2 weeks.
That's how often the Halliday children would usually check in with their parents.
Richard was really good about the 2 weeks. And when the 2 weeks went by, I was like, Rob, Richard didn't call.
And so they waited for a call that never came. A month later, his parents became desperate. They reached out to Fort Bliss. They were told their son was a deserter.
It was not like they were looking for a missing soldier. They start like this criminal investigation on him. And I'm like, you know what? Find him first. And then you can, then you can judge him. But find him. This is my son, the missing soldier from Fort Bliss.
36 days after his disappearance, the Hallidays started searching for their son. Fort Bliss also joining in their efforts.
Richard, if you're listening, come home. We miss you, we love you, and we will have your back.
In that moment, did you believe that you guys in the Army were actually a team?
Well, from our point, and I don't know if you've heard me say this, but I said, we love the Army, but the Army doesn't love us. Are you afraid of a mama? Huh? That you can't speak to us and tell us what happened to Richard, who got lost on your watch?
Despite the dead ends and loss of hope, the Hallidays maintained their exhaustive search. Meantime, Fort Bliss investigated the climate and treatment of soldiers in Richard's unit prior to his disappearance and found no issues.
How honest do you think that, lower level soldiers are going to be when someone of a higher rank is asking them questions?
It's a lose-lose situation. They won't be forthcoming. Number one, they're scared of retaliation.
Now, 730 days. So many moments and memories have come and gone, replaced with what-ifs and unanswered questions.
Are you still holding out hope that, you'll see him again?
I guess maybe there's a sliver of hope. But all my gut feelings, everything that we've been through, from day one, I said he's in a ditch dead somewhere. I don't think I've changed in that respect.
If you were able to have an extra 15 minutes with Richard, what would that look like?
Oh man, I'd be kissing him I'd just be kissing and crying on him. And I'd be saying, Richard, I'm so glad you're alive. I'm so glad you're alive. That's it.